Miss Russell, did you and Mr. McNulty ever live together?
Yes, we did.
From when to when?
We lived together from September 1st to November 12th.
Of last year?
Yes, of 2016.
But that was after your daughter was born?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm talking about prior to her birth?
No.
And at the time that she was born, were you and the defendant still dating?
No.
When did you stop dating?
In September of 2015.
Your complaint indicated, the first couple of lines, that Mr. McNulty did not know he had a child due to some, use the word mix-up, for the first 4 months of her life. Was that a mix-up because there was someone else who was originally named as the father?
There was. I was dating someone.
Okay, so there was someone else who was named as the father. And what prompted you to take another step towards finding that Mr. McNulty, who actually had a paternity test, was the father of the child?
He contacted me asking for it, paternity test.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Honestly, it was crazy how I found out about it. I just found out through a picture online, and I saw that the child looked like me, and I just kind of had this crazy hunch that it might be mine, so I contacted her and got the paternity test done. And
just a minute. When you contacted her, where was she living?
it was Lafayette, Indiana, which is about an hour and a half from me, almost 2 hours.
With whom?
Her sister.
And in what month was that?
I can't tell you exactly. I want to say it was around September.
So you're talking about September of 2016?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you found out that this little girl was yours, according to what I read, you invited her to come to move into your house.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I invited her to be closer to my daughter, and I told her that she could live with me until she got on her feet, found her own place. I wanted to be closer to my daughter, and I just wanted to be friends with her, co-parent.
Do you have any other children?
I do not.
Do you have any other children?
No.
And I assume you didn't have your own place to live?
Not at the time, no.
When you moved into Mr. McNulty's house, you have a house?
Yes, ma'am.
How many bedrooms are in the house?
3.
Your daughter had 1 bedroom?
Correct.
Did you have the other?
Yes.
And Mr. McNulty the third?
Yes.
So you were living there as 2 parents of a child. You were not a couple. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. Now, an incident occurred in September wherein you claim that Mr. McNulty damaged your car, took your cell phone, and threw your property out.
He threw some of my belongings out, not all of them,
Now,
and it was in November.
Would you like to explain to me, Miss Russell, why this man who actually tried, at least on the surface, tried to do everything in an appropriate fashion, contacted you to find out whether he had a child, bore the expense probably of a paternity test, found out that this was in fact his child, and you were, for all intents and purposes, homeless. You didn't have your own residence. He invited you to come to stay in his house, your own bedroom, because he wanted to, he uses the word co-parent, he wanted to be closer to his child. You want to tell me why he would do such dastardly things? You want to tell me what happened in
I
November?
did pay for the entire paternity test. I also was living comfortably at my sister's. I had my own room.
Well, then why would you go to his house?
Because I thought I was doing the right thing and letting my daughter's father be in her life.
She can be in his life many, many ways.
He wanted us to be closer, and he gave us this dream of being a happy family, and little did I know until I moved in that he was not the person I thought he was.
Okay, let's move on to November. Tell me what happened.
So he came home.
What date?
It was November 12th, I believe. He came home inebriated with a girl for the 3rd time. And we had an agreement that he would not bring home women while we were living there for the safety of our child and for respect.
Just a second. When did you make this agreement?
After we decided we weren't going to have a intimate relationship.
Right. In what month was that?
That was September.
Okay, so shortly after you came in.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the conversation.
Conversation after he got home that night?
No, the conversation where he said that he would not bring women home to his home, even though you weren't his girlfriend, you weren't involved in a relationship. Tell me about that conversation.
Our conversation was out of respect for each other and for our daughter, unless we were serious about people, and until I moved out with our daughter, that he would not bring girls home.
Is that correct?
No, ma'am, it's not.
Well, you hesitated for a moment. You want to tell me why?
Yes, because she wasn't actually a girl I was seeing. It was more of like a friend that I've known for a long time, and she took it as a girlfriend. And
Okay, now when you came home on November 12th, do you remember that day?
Yes, I do, because I don't remember if it was November 12th. I remember it was Veterans Day, because I was in the military with a couple of buddies of mine, and usually my buddies will take me out on Veterans Day.
Okay.
So that's
Did you
why.
come home drunk?
I wouldn't say drunk. I was a little. I was inebriated. I'll admit that. Yeah.
Do you remember what time you came home?
It was about 2:30
In the morning?
in the morning. Yes.
And there was a woman with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's hear what happened.
That was the instance of one of 3 women throughout
Where?
the process of living together he'd brought
Okay,
home.
it's his house.
He came home with a woman, and I told her to leave, and she didn't know that there was a baby and another woman there. So she agreed to leave.
She didn't know there was a baby and another woman there?
Yes.
You mean you, the other woman?
Yes, me and my child. She had no idea we were there, and she gladly left.
Okay.
He, in a rage, head-butted me twice, threw me against a wall. I got away from him by pushing all I could away from the wall. And running to get my cell phone to call the police, which I did. The operator told me to go into the...
Don't tell me what the operator told you.
I went into my daughter's bedroom. There are no locks on any of the doors in the house, not even the bathroom. So I tried holding her door shut until the police arrived. And I was instructed to get out of the house.
Don't tell me what you were instructed to do.
Okay.
Just tell me what you did, what he said to you, what you said to him.
So I was able to get out of the house with our daughter, and the police came. They took our statements, and they instructed him
Don't
not...
tell me what they said unless you have a police report.
I do have... I have
I'd like
two.
to take a look at it. Well, it appears that from the police reports, at least, after speaking to you, that you did not report to the police that he head-butted you twice. What the police officer noted after conversation with you, that you told the female to leave. She stated that Corey became angry, pushed her, and put his forehead against hers. That's what the officer said.
That was incorrect.
That's what the officer said. She had no complaint of pain and no visible marks of abuse. She further stated she really didn't want him going to jail, but separated from her for the night. He argued with the police, probably a little drunk, but
I was more upset about getting kicked out of my house.
That you were being kicked out of your own house, where plaintiff neither pays any of the bills, nor is it her home. However, you did separate to the extent that you slept it off in the garage.
No, negative, ma'am.
Where did you sleep?
I went to my buddies down the street after the police officer told me to leave. He gave me the option to go to jail or leave, so I left.
Okay. Did you come back the next morning?
Yes, ma'am.
What time?
It was around 7:30.
Okay. And when he came back at 7:30, I want you to tell me what happened.
He never left. I saw him walk in through the garage, which he was sleeping in his sleeping bag in the garage.
Fine. So he was, but he didn't bother you. Whether he was sleeping at his friend's down the street or in a sleeping bag in the garage, he wasn't near you for the rest of the night.
He was instructed not to come into the house.
Listen to me carefully. Not to come into his own home. Let's move on. You have 3 complaints. Your complaint is that he took your phone.
Yes.
That he damaged your car, and that he has your stuff. I've read the police reports. So let me tell you what the police say you told them. The second police report indicates that you went to the police because he was still there. And when the police came back with you because you couldn't find your cell phone. And when you came back with a police officer who notes that Miss Russell advised that she wanted to gather a few things from the home and that she would be going to stay with a family friend. That was the next morning. Officer Vasquez went back to Miss Russell's residence and observed Corey had placed all of her belongings in bags outside of the residence. Miss Russell gathered what she could fit in her vehicle and advised she would need to come back later for the rest of the items. Miss Russell further advised that she noticed a dent in her 2007 Jeep Patriot and believed Corey may have done it, but wasn't for sure.
I was certain.
Just a second. That's what it says here. Noticed a dent. She believed he might have done it, wasn't for sure. Miss Russell was able to leave the scene without incident. I want you to tell me, what proof do you have for the 3 things we're talking about? What proof do you have that he took your phone?
So when I went to sleep the morning of the incident, when he was supposed to leave the house, all 3 of the bedroom doors in the hallway were open. When I woke up, one was closed, and my phone that was sitting on my nightstand on my charger was gone.
Where's her phone?
I don't know, ma'am. The police escorted me out of the premises.
Next.
I do have proof that I did have to purchase a new phone.
I don't care.
Next.
The police escorted him out. The next thing that happened was 7 o'clock in the morning. You saw him walking in from the garage. Okay. Dent on the Jeep.
He admitted to me that he did it.
Okay. When was that?
The morning of around 7:30, when I was on my way out to go to the police station to make the report. I looked at my vehicle and I angrily said, "You dented my Jeep," and he said, "Oh well."
I did not say that, ma'am, no.
Next.
Next, the officer who made the note that all of my things were on the porch, they were not all of my things. I did not go into the house and collect my things. Him and his stepfather put my clothes in bags and some of my small belongings. I even have a picture
Just a second. Do you want to tell me what you claim he still has that belongs to you?
I have a list.
Tell me.
So I have my dineware set, my wine glasses, all of my kitchen utensils, all of my cookware, all of my baking pans, crock pot, oven mitts.
Just a second. When did you move in with all that stuff?
When he came to get me at my sister's, his grandmother paid for a moving truck, and my sister helped us move all of my belongings from her apartment into the moving truck, which we brought to his house, which has all of these items.
Okay. Can I see that bird?
And I also have a picture, if you want the pictures.
Do you have her TV?
I do not, ma'am. I have enough TVs in my house to
Just a
need
second.
another.
Did she move in with the TV?
She did.
Where is it?
I put everything of hers on the front porch, and she left it there for a couple days. So
you don't know where it is?
I left it out there, and I told her it's her problem to get it. I didn't put it on the garbage.
Well, but you know, a TV was not noted by the police.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have anything in your home now
I do not.
that belongs to her? Okay. Now I'm going to see the bill for the 47-inch TV. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see the paid bill for it.
I also have a picture coming up that has my placemats and a picture of him with those placemats just 2 weeks ago for the items that he says he does not have in his home.
Okay. So the television set was $479.91. Mm-hmm. What are these things?
Everything on the list is stuff I've purchased, but the ones that I highlighted are the ones that he still has in his possession.
And what's this supposed to be a picture of?
That picture matches the small photograph. The photograph has my placemats at my apartment. He has the exact same placemats in that picture at his house. It's proof that he does still have my items that he is claiming he does not have.
I don't care. The judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $994. We're done.
Your Honor, I
We're
still have
done.
evidence.
We're done.
What about my vehicle?
He's not paying for your vehicle because I have a police report where you say I have a dent in my car. I think Corey did it, but I have no.
say that to the police officer.
Well, that's
though.
what the police officer says. We're done.
Why does that excuse you? Next step out.
Incredibly difficult, but he is not on the birth certificate and has never been in her life.
Getting to see my daughter again, because she's been holding her again. I haven't been able to see her since she moved out of the house. So
Paternally, yes. Legally, he has never had any help.
I have a lot more to go on in the court system. So there's a big future
Nor has, I don't think he ever will pursue it.
to go for, and getting my name on the birth certificate and custody of my child as well.
I will not trust a man.
And I believe that justice is served.
Better do it on your own.